All right, friends, so today we're back in the Science Center again, and we're still talking about our senses. And today we're talking about the sense of touch. All right, and some words that are associated with that are touch, skin, feel, hot, cold, soft, hard. This one is hold on to something, tap, or pet. So those are all things that we can do to touch with our hands. We have 4 cards for this one, a little bit more than the others, because you can see that right here, they're using their hands to touch. And you can see he's holding a little frog. See it? And there he is using his hands. And here's another picture of the hands and the skin, because when we touch something, it touches our skin. And we can feel if it's soft or if it's hard or if it's pokey. So today I have my texture box. And in my texture box, I have lots of different things to touch. So I'm going to show you these things, and you're going to tell me or tell the people sitting with you what you think they feel like. And again, just like every other video, if you want to comment below and say your answer, you can do that too. So the first thing I have is a bag of beads. And my beads in my hands, this one is a round one and it feels soft and smooth. This one is a heart and it has some little bumps on it. Let's see if I can find another one. This one has letters on it and it feels a little bit bumpy. It has some bumps and some grooves in it because the letter is in there. All right, let's feel something else. Who knows what these are called? That's right, if you said feathers, this is a bag of feathers. Who's felt a feather before? These feathers are really soft. You can feel just how soft they are. And on the top here, it feels a little bit smooth. And if you put it on somebody's face or maybe on their feet, it tickles. So they are soft. They can feel really good on our skin. We might find feathers in a pillow, maybe in a blanket or on a bird. All right, the next thing I have is my Pom Poms. And these, if I take one out, Pom Poms, I'm sure you've done them, played with them before in your art or craft time. They kind of feel like a cotton ball. And this one I can squish in my hand and it bounces back just a little bit. It's squishy and it's soft and fuzzy and furry. And this one you can see has some glitter on it, but it's also a little bit harder but bouncy, and you can go boop, boop, boop. I can use my sense of sound and hear a police car out my window right now too. All right, so these are very soft and they're very fun to do projects with. All right, what do I have next? Who knows what one of these is? If you said a button, you are right. We have buttons on our clothes. Sometimes there are buttons on our boots or our shoes. And if we feel them in our hand, they feel smooth. And we can usually feel that they are round. Sometimes buttons can be different shapes too. But most of my buttons in my bag are round and they feel smooth and they feel hard. You can hear that? It's a hard button. All right, what do I have next? All right, now this one, you're gonna use your sense of sound, and we're gonna do that in a minute too. Those are jingle bells, and if I put one in my hand, I can feel that it's smooth, but there's also parts on it where the bell is that it's bumpy, and this part in the middle is a little bit bumpy too. So it's bumpy and smooth all at the same time. All right, let's see what else I have in my texture box. This says S-A-N-D. Does anybody know what S-A-N-D spells? It's sand. Okay, now I'm going to show you the sand. It's right there. This sand is a red sand, and you can see if I go like this, you can watch it fall a little bit, and it feels very grainy between my hands. So not really soft. It feels kind of like sandpaper-y. It's a little bit rough and very, very grainy is the word I used for that. You touch and feel, and since it's red, look, now my fingers are a little bit red. All right, let's see what I have next. In this Play-Doh, I have some Play-Doh in the Play-Doh container. And you've played with Play-Doh before, I'm sure, so I'm squeezing it in my hands in front of you. So do you think it's hard or soft? If you said soft, you are right. Another word would be squishy. All right, it feels really good between our fingers. It feels so nice. And most of the time, Play-Doh feels warm because we're putting it between our hands, so it gets really warm and it's soft, and we can even make it stretchy. Isn't that fun? All right, let's see what's next. I have rocks, and these rocks feel a little bit rough. They're kind of bumpy. This rock is a little bit rough too. They're both very, very bumpy, and some parts are smooth, like this part right here feels smooth, but other parts feel bumpy. And you can hear that they are hard, aren't they? They're not soft. You might find rocks in a river or a lake. You might find them in your driveway outside. All right, let's see. What else do I have? That one, those ones sound empty, so we think we just have one more. And these are my little wood pieces, all right? And they feel very smooth on the top because someone has taken some sandpaper and taken off all the rough edges and made them very smooth. But on the outside right here, I can feel that it's very rough. It's very bumpy, and it feels rough under my skin. Okay, so that's everything in my texture box. That's how we learn to touch. And the reason that our sense of touch is so important is that it keeps us safe. Sometimes if something is hot or it's cold, we need to know so that when we touch it, we quickly take our hands away. All right, so that's our sense of touch. It's a very important one. It's also very important when we want a hug or a pat on the back or a high five. Those are all ways that we use our sense of touch. All right, friends, I hope you have some great adventures today, finding other things that you can use your sense of touch with. Have a great day.